Welcome back to the Comic Book ASM Artist. Today we're doing another comic book haul, so we're just going to get started. So first we have, this is the White Knight line of books, Von Freeze. This is a special that is just about Mr. Freeze. And the thing I love about it the most is the texture in the cover here. And the back of it is like that too. I think the other, I forget what the new arc is called, but the current run of books also has the same sort of texture on the back too. But this is written by Sean Murphy, but it's drawn by Klaus Janson, so it's a little different. And so this story is about Mr. Freeze here, and the big thing with this is they have stuff where in the Murphyverse he has confronted Nazis, and this right here is Mr. Freeze in the past. And I think if I remember, I'm trying to remember, but he had some sort of ties where he helped us somehow, like the U.S. So I think like they forced him to try to work for them, and then he sabotaged something. I remember them talking about it a little bit in the first miniseries he had done. But yeah, then there's also a nice cardstock cover too, so very nice. And I don't think there's any ads in it either. Let me check. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any ads. And then it's got some storyboard stuff too in the back. Or rather, penciled pages, not storyboard, but, roughed pencils. So, pretty nice. I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving and a fun Black Friday as well. For me, it was just friends and family, which is typically the layout for those. If you're so lucky, I couldn't imagine just celebrating Thanksgiving alone, So I am thankful to have people in my life, Next one here is this is the Terrifics number 22, and this is another one of the acetate covers, and this is one of my favorite covers that I've seen so far. Just really like how the team has been drawn here. They have a nice, polished look to them. They look very cartoony and just bright. And then for the cover reveal, we see they've been turned into little kids here. So this is the first one I've really seen kind of nail like a transformative idea on it here. So I really like this cover. And yeah, so they're just continuing to do their thing where they're facing off against their I forget what you just want to call it, just bizarre world version of themselves or whatever. And then we see the insignia for the perfected version of Lex in the back there. And yeah, we just see the bad guys here doing their thing. And I think that the Terrifics is finally going to end on issue 25. And I hear that it's going to end in a choose your own adventure style, but I'm not 100% on that. But so that will officially wrap these guys, and then they'll probably re-pick them up somehow, especially since this team has been the longest running out of all of them. I really like how they've drawn him as a kid there. I wonder who's the artist on this one. Oh, so that's Steven Segovia. And then the back has a nice little cover thingy too, where it shows Superman as a baby by Romita Jr. So, good stuff. And yeah, these are just regular $3.99 price too. I think my favorite cover thing they did was still the I guess that was kind of like a it was still a villain themed thing, because it was like all the villains with the lenticular covers. I don't remember what they called that though. Next we have the Batman and Superman #4, and it's been hijacked by the Batman Who Laughs here. We see all of his little Robins, and we open it up, and we see Batman and Superman there. So we see in the book with, I think that's the version of the Blue Beetle that's been infected. They're doing a mini-series with them. But the only one out of those I'm picking up is the one with Commissioner Gordon. Just because I'm trying to keep it in the Bat family and maintain a little affordability, but I really like the art in this book. It's well done. So, like I said, I was on the fence about it at first, but you know, why not? It has a solid start at least. Lots of action, great art, and they're just kind of continuing the Batman Who Laughs thing. It'll be interesting to see how everything happens once the smoke clears on that character. They've really been pushing him a lot, you know. People do like the character, but you can definitely overexpose people too, you know. Comics always try to cash in on any little bit of success. Next we have, this is Nightwing #66. Nice painted cover here too. I don't know who the artist is, but I know he's done a couple of them now. Hey, look. So this is by Warren Lowe, and apparently the acetate cover for this is the one by John Boy Myers. So I did pre-order that one too, but I think they got shorted or something. That's typically what happens. The love of diamond distributors, you know. They're the only game in town. Sometimes it's hard to have everyone receive the same care, I guess. So, yeah, he's just been facing off with the group of Robins here for a while. The big thing now is the Court of Owls is back in the picture, and they're trying to manipulate Dick Grayson in his new state, and they have successfully got him into like the goggles and everything, and just kind of they've been a lot more successful here. But we found out too, whenever in the Nightwing annual, whenever Dick Grayson did get shot in the head and he had his hospital treatment and stuff, we found out that the Court of the Owls was actually responsible for messing around with his memories and making him not remember much or trust Bruce or anyone else. So that this is like their best effort to try to turn him. So definitely a huge deal, especially if you're a fan of the Court of Owls stuff. Next we have Turtles Urban Legends number 19. And this book just still continues to do what it does. Just random stuff like this in it. But yeah, it's a product of its period, you know, the whole 90s thing. It's kind of just bizarre and really out there. And then this was put out by Image at the time, which, you know, they were big on extreme action and all that. Binding's noisy on this one. I don't know. Typically they just use staples here, but I think the most interesting thing so far with it is how Raphael has decided to take up the mantle of the Shredder. And initially he just did it as a goof, you know, and then he's like, yeah, no, what if I just took over and recruited any remaining Foot Clan there was. This is the big thing, though. Issue number 100 of Turtles is coming soon. You'll definitely want to check that out when it comes out. It'll be a big deal. And this series continues to be the longest running Turtles series. And I can't recommend it enough. Definitely highly enjoyable. And it just kind of serves any period of Turtle fan, if you're old or new or like cartoons. It's just been fun to see what happens. But I mean, I would not be surprised if they wrapped it sometime soon. And then I know that they have a new miniseries for, I want to say Jenica is the new turtle. I keep forgetting her name. Next we have Batman number 83. Continue to see Batman fighting Bane here, which I will be looking forward to whenever this finally resolves itself. So we see Batman here with, I think Alfred is still dead in this shot here. Yeah. So you've got to do something every now and then as a writer to try to get people in, so they've used the death of Alfred. And Alfred is just pretty much like, you know, Bruce's father figure after his dad passed. His mom and dad, you know, so I can imagine he will take it pretty hard. You see more stuff here. It's all done by Mikkel Yannon. And yeah, the whole book is done by him, so I do love his art, if nothing else. Tom King, like I said, I feel he had a strong start, but then he just kind of went off in this weird direction where Bruce was no longer Bruce anymore. It's an interesting story, but it doesn't feel like Bruce Wayne. Which I think is his point, he's trying to communicate what would drive Batman to no longer feel like Batman, and I think he's succeeded with that. There's quite a few readers who are upset with his writing style. And this is the variant cover. I believe this is Masamoto, or look. Not Masamoto, Francesco Mattina. So I'm curious if you guys got any good deals from, either your comic shops or just anything in general for Black Friday, This was the first one I've received my paycheck on, but my funds pretty much went to bills and even my small pile of books here. I was on the fence about getting because every little bit was really trying to go towards just paying bills at the moment. So this one is Detective Comics number 1016. This is the Care Andrews variant cover, I believe. Another nice card stock here. Let's trace it a little bit. We have a nice big bold Bruce here. There you go. So this continues the story of Mr. Freeze bringing back Nora. And she is of the mindset where she is becoming more ruthless than Victor ever was. Because the numbness is brand new to her, So she's almost taken a murderous bent that Freeze had, but his was really founded in the fact that he wasn't with her anymore. But whenever she was first brought back, she was upset about him bringing her back. And then she just kind of embraced the weird sensation her body now felt because of the cold therapy and everything. So, an interesting take there, too. Let's see. And then, here's the Infected I was talking about. I love this image here. I'm glad they put it in a book here. So, Commissioner's one of them. Shazam. I think that's Scarab, and I don't know. Well, that's Supergirl there. Hawkman, and I don't know this one on the end. So that takes place in Supergirl, Commissioner, Shazam, that special, Scarab, Hawkman, and Deathbringer. So find the artist, but I'm pretty sure it's Care Andrews just because of that there. He had more of a different style, but I could be wrong. I don't remember there being as much. I thought he had more of a smooth painted digital look almost. This we see almost a little bit of ink or penciling as opposed to just, the typical glow that comes off of work like this. So I could be mistaken, but I think that's what I've seen. I just wonder the route that they go to get these variant artists in. Because you'll see people who do the covers that never do the interiors. I'm just like, man, I would like to see this particular artist do an interior every once in a while. But I know the cover artists make quite a bit of money, so this is Action Comics number 1017. And this is an artist I'm not familiar with here. Reminds me a little bit of Bermejo style there. But this is interesting because I looked through this book a little bit previously, and I feel like I've missed something here. I feel like this story was somehow previously in Justice League and just kind of spilled over into here because I don't remember the previous book I read for Action Comics having all these guys in it. And we see John Romita Jr. has taken the helm, and I think he will for at least a few issues, maybe. I don't know. And yeah, here's the variant artist here, Lucio Parillo. Or Lucio. I don't know. You know what I mean. I try my best. And then you meet these artists in person and you butcher their name and they're like, oh. So it will be interesting to see what happens in this. That I know all this stuff they've been doing with Event Leviathan here, so. But it was just kind of surprising to see those, like the Rogues Gallery suddenly in front of them like that. A lot of double page spreads, or not double page spreads, but 2-page, like this here. It's not like a 1-page splash sort of situation, but so it'd be fun to read that. And of course, it is another cardstock cover here. I was hoping my friend's book was gonna come in the mail. John Paul Jones is his name. He did a book called Reflex. Like me, he's been an aspiring artist forever. And he's created this character back in 1979, and just, he's always had the hang-ups of, oh, how do we produce this book and stuff, and finances. Well, he finally put his book out, and I'm waiting for it, so hopefully it'll come soon, and I'll show it off for you guys. And it's a really unique style, so I'll enjoy showing you guys that. It's coming from Canada, so. But this book here, I think, it's the last one we have. This is the New Mask miniseries here. And I think, as I said in a live stream, I was surprised that there was so much swearing in the book, like F word and the S word and all that stuff. I don't personally swear. I don't care if you do or anyone else, but it just kind of, it's one of those things I don't actively seek out content like that. If a story is telling a story but wants to maintain a piece of, kind of just showing humanity side in people get upset and they swear and stuff. I get that, but it just felt like, it was constant almost. So I knew that The Mask in the past had been a pretty violent book, but I wasn't expecting so much with the swearing and stuff. So that kind of turned me off a little bit of it. But since this is a 4-issue miniseries, I'm still going to continue it just to see where it goes. Yeah, the book is just very gritty and graphic. And yeah. I had to skip a page image that was a little over violent for my taste and for what I want to show on this channel even. So I do say this is a mature book, so word of caution there. I was hoping to get something in the way of some Black Friday type stuff, but like I said, it just didn't happen this year. One of my shops, they have like 75% off their already marked down graphic novels they had and stuff like that, so it's just not working out right now. So I'm gonna start to take it easier on the stuff from the place by my work, just because I'm still gonna get some things, but I'm gonna scale back on my Marvel books. I'll mainly just be getting Spider-Man, Hulk, and see where the X-Men goes. So my kid really loves Spider-Man, and the current stuff's okay. It's definitely not as good as the stuff from back in the day, but you know, that's just nostalgia speaking too. But I do like to collect and all that, but just been kind of rough financially, and it's hard to do. So now I'm trying to sell some of my other stuff. I might leave a link to that below. If you guys are interested, like, it's supposed to be like through a local thing, but I'm open to ship it, but I don't know because it's a lot of content. But I might even piecemeal. It's essentially most of my Marvel stuff I've collected, and older Nightwing and things like that. So I'll leave a link to that if you're interested, and you know, anything else if you want to help, I'll maybe throw my PayPal. It's because it's getting tight. I don't want to beg, but if you do want to help and support me and the channel, I welcome it, especially at this time, because like I said, it's getting tight. So that's gonna do it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see. And as always, you guys have a super slumber. Thanks. Bye.